Bible truth, line by line, in context, 5-minute lessons. Let's go. Welcome to Bible Bites. All right, guys, the 5-minute lesson starts now. What's going on, guys? Last time we left off with Romans 2:4, and we saw that God did a whole bunch of stuff also that we could change our minds about the truth, okay? The truth in our minds is a very big deal and a big theme of Romans so far, right? So let's roll into Romans 2:5. Paul tells us that after we gain hard and impenitent hearts, impenitent meaning unrepentant, man began to treasurest God's wrath. All right, so let's break this verse down. All right, treasurest. It's a verb. It means to hoard, to store, to collect for future use, something that value. Okay, hard, impenitent hearts, treasurest wrath. Now remember, along with that mind battle, we also have a heart condition to deal with. All right, Romans 1:21, ungodliness darkened our foolish hearts. Romans 1:24, our hearts lusted for unclean things, dishonoring our bodies also. But remember, there are causes to heart conditions. So go back to Romans 1:21. We refuse to glorify nor thank God. Look at Romans 1:23. We changed his glory into the glory of creations. And then in Romans 1:24, God gave us over to our dark, lusting hearts. Go back to Romans 1:32. Look, although we knew the judgment for following our lustful thoughts with unrighteous actions, we took pleasure in doing those actions anyway. See, the actions God judges are powered by the dark hearts and vain imaginations we chose to pursue above the Lord. Those dark hearts and vain imaginations are the truth that contrasts with the truth of God, okay? Now, these lusts of the heart, they draw God's wrath. But again, we take pleasure in doing them. That's really important, that we take pleasure knowing what it costs us, right? Now, because God's focus is on repentance and ours is on pleasure, we take advantage of his long suffering and forbearance. But notice something. That is a lie men tell themselves, that they can take advantage of God, that they can get one over on him. Why? It's not possible. Because God's long suffering and forbearance and goodness that allows men the opportunity to offend God, right? This long suffering and forbearance and goodness do not eliminate our sin from the picture. God's not excusing our sin. He's just allowing us to store up wrath. Now, this stored up wrath will be released on a particular day in time. Look at the verse. It's called the day of wrath. And this day is going to reveal a righteous judgment of God. Now, remember, Romans 1:32 says the judgment for that list of sins is death. And why, then, is it a righteous judgment? Romans 2:2, because God's judgment is by truth. Go to Romans 1:18. Men hold truth in unrighteousness. And then Romans 1:25 tells us, and we change the truth of God into a lie. And then Romans 1:20 says, and because we change the truth of God into a lie, that truth that gets dismissed is the truth of his eternal power and Godhead, which they do not like to retain in our knowledge, Romans 1:28. And because Romans 1:19 tells us what may be known of God was shown to us by God, Romans 1:32 makes it clear we know the judgment of God is death, but take pleasure in wickedness anyway. And that is why we treasurest up wrath. Because what we choose to value over God, we already know will bring his wrath, his death down on us. But we love this offensive stuff so much, we don't care. And we just do it anyway. It's righteous judgment. Now, Romans 2:6. Here we see God will render his judgments toward everyone. Remember, Romans 1:16 says the gospel is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. So God's wrath is the judgment set against all mankind for their ungodliness, which leads to unrighteous actions. But check it out. God's salvation is available to all mankind if they believe the truth of God, which is contained in the gospel. Now, notice The righteous judgments will be administered according to every man's deeds. So we gotta ask the question, what are these deeds that are gonna be judged? I don't know. That's where we're going to stop, and we'll pick it up next time. Love you guys. Hope you got something out of it. I will see you later. Again, we're on a journey to repentance obedience. I guess we're on a journey to repentance too, but more so obedience, okay? I want to be obedient to God. I have this burning feeling that Romans is a key for me to understand that, and I hope you do too. So I'll talk to you next time, guys. Love you. This is Bible Bites. I'm out.